brought my phone because sometimes I run long, so I'm going to try to keep to 15 minutes. First off, thanks to all the parents that came and supported. We talked about at the beginning of the year, staying patient. This thing's going to be a process, and the boys worked extremely hard on trying to get the ship moving in the right direction. Thank you to FL for all the support, having everything ready. It's a huge relief when you have the right environment, when you have the support. Also, Doug Mason for keeping the stats and the book. That's a huge relief. Where my last school I was at, I was doing all that stuff myself, and that's very time consuming. And I think Doug, your daughter helped out some too, right? So yeah, thank you for keeping those stats. They're really helpful in trying to figure out where we need to go, who deserves the playing time, and all that good stuff. So let me get everybody, my varsity team up here so we can, y'all come up here now, and I'll give you a shout out. Come on up here, guys. Don't walk on the court. I know the rules.
He wants to do it afterwards.
I'm going to edit it. Congratulations, Oliver. You should get one for varsity too. Cheers. Thank you for cheering.
Good. We talked a lot about building a foundation this year. On my way over, I was trying to think about this team and this year, and spend some time about what I was thankful for. I started thinking about my senior year, my junior year, the experience I had at my school. It was very much different in that it was a very big school, thousands of kids. We were really, really competitive. And I'll tell you this because our coaches challenged us. We were a top team in the States. There was a handful of losses in there. And when we lost, the coaches came in there and challenged us to show up the next day and motivated us, demanded more of us. And, I think that was easy for me. When you have a packed gym, when you've got, that kind of environment, and when you're in contention, that's easy. How would I have done in this situation? What kind of character would I have had when, you got a couple losses stacked back to back, things aren't going perfectly. You got a kid that gets concussion and another kid that gets a concussion. And so other guys are having to step in there certain games, and we're having to kind of roll with the punches. So I'm very proud of these guys for showing up regardless of, which way we were headed. I want the seniors, Titus and, what are my other seniors? Ty, up here. Colston, and we got one more. Where's our other one? That's it. Okay. All right, so these guys especially, because we talked about, this is going to take some time. And, these guys aren't probably going to benefit from all the work that we put in this year. It was going to take, a year or two to kind of get this thing in the right direction. And so I'm really appreciative of these guys for showing up each and every day and, knowing maybe in the back of their mind that they weren't going to reap the benefits of all the hard work, all the battling through the adversity. And I want them to know when they come back next year, hopefully to watch a game and catch up, that, we're in a better direction. I want them to know that they're a part of this as well. Because it does take time to kind of change, the culture and kind of right the ship. So I want to give them a round of applause real fast for the team. So I think that these guys did a great job. We had one returning starter from varsity. We had numerous guys that maybe had played some rec or maybe not have played organized basketball. And so there's a lot. I mean, I've played a lot of sports, and I think basketball is very complicated. There's a lot of schemes. There's a lot of things that you need to be able to do, like dribble, run, and look up. People think it's easy. Try that if you've never done it. It's very challenging. So these guys did a great job of trying to get better each and every practice. And I want to go over the awards real fast. The first one is most improved. This one could have went to pretty much anybody on this stage because of where we started and where we ended up. I think everybody here, did such a good job of working and grinding each and every day. So this was probably the hardest award for me to find a winner. But I ended up choosing Titus Adler. Okay, and the reason why we chose Titus, he came to me at the beginning of the season. He said, "I'm going to sign up for basketball," and I said, "Have you ever played?" And he said, "No," and I said, "Okay, all right. We're gonna play the best 5. So if you sign up, if you commit to it, I'll invest everything I got into you. But I can't guarantee at varsity level. We're trying to compete and win and battle. I can't guarantee playing time. I want you to know that of what you're signing up for." And he said he wants to give it a try. So he surprised me, day in and day out because he was there and he was working and he was getting better. But for a guy that has never played the game in an organized fashion, it's very complicated, like I said before. And he was doing things that were like high IQ, high level things that, he shouldn't, been able to do. I don't know where he saw it or whatnot, but I'll give you an example. He led the conference in taking charges. For the people that don't know what that is, it's when you stand in front of somebody and sit still and they run right through you. All right, and that takes courage, that takes toughness. It's very difficult to do, and he also did it on guys that were 6'4", 6'5", 240. So, his buy-in is what I want all of these guys on the stage, when they come back to play, to emulate. Because, it's infectious. It is what we want all our guys on the team to do, all the little stuff. And so that's why we gave him that award right there. Colson's not here. Oh, there you are. Our defensive player is going to go to Colston Rooney. The old Indiana coach Bobby Knight said defense is an attitude. We spent a lot of time on player development offensively because we had a 2-year plan. We're thinking, it's really hard to teach dribbling, passing, and shooting. We're going to start with that. Well, when you do that, you struggle defensively. And we struggled defensively this year. It's hard because I'm a defensive coach. You wouldn't have known that if you watched some of our games. But defense is an attitude. Defense is about, toughness and physicality. And that's what Colston brought to every game. There were a number of games where he came over and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's got a chipped tooth, a bloody, nose, and a black eye, and he's mixing it up down there with really tall, big guys, boxing out, playing physical. And, that is, why we gave him the award this year, was because night in, night out, I knew what I was going to get. I was going to get a guy that was going to go in the paint and mix it up and battle. So, Colston, great season. Thank you for all your hard work. All right, our offensive player of the year goes to Hunter Manning. I'm going to pick on Hunter like I tend to do from time to time. But Hunter in the second game came to me, and he's, Hunter sometimes kind of says things that, make my hair fall out even more. And that is, he's like, "I can't make a shot. I can't make." I'm like, "Hunter, our offense is a 4-out offense. We want to space you out, and we want you to shoot the ball when you're open. It doesn't matter if it goes in. You shoot the ball. And he would come to me and say, I'm just not making shots, and I'd look at the stats, and he's 2 for 5. And I'm like, Hunter, this game is really hard, okay? 2 for 5, first off, is not a bad, measurement of whether you're shooting the ball well or not. Keep shooting. And I think what I like more about, Hunter's game as it evolved was that he went from thinking, it's all about making a shot to, like, there are other components to the game. And I'm not going to let, a missed shot here and a missed shot there change, how I play. So his best games came towards the end of the season. He shot the ball much better. He was much more comfortable. He took care of the ball. And that's really important for our offense to do and be efficient in. His last game, he went 6 for 10 from three-point land. He led the team in three-point percentage. He was averaged 8 points a game, was the second leading scorer on the team. And so we thought he was deserving of that award. So good job, Hunter. Our team MVP is no surprise. It's Luke Mason. Luke is a great kid. He's a lot like his mom. He's very sweet, okay, and I love Becky, but we want him to be mean on the court. But Luke averaged 18 points a game. He averaged 9 rebounds. He had 5 double-doubles. He was one of the leading scorers in the conference, and made second team all-region. He should have been first team. I think he was in the top 3 for that, in my opinion. I'm not sure who voted on this thing, but when you lead the team in scoring and blocks and rebounds, you should be in the mix. So we put him in the middle. We put a bunch of people around him, and we tell him to go to work. And when you're in the middle and you're in the paint and you're being physical, it's a long game. And I think he did. He played in every game. He played pretty much every minute of every game, even when he was, red-faced and cramping on the floor. His tenacity and, his openness to be coached and developed was inspiring for me. I love a kid that comes in there and is ready to learn. So great job, Luke. I'm looking forward to next year. Our last award is the Knights Award, Knowledge, Nurture, Integrity, Gratitude, Honor, Truth, Stewardship. This goes to a kid that's not here. He's not here because he's on a mission trip, so that explains why we're giving him this award. But it's Isaac Ingram. Isaac came to practice every day with a great attitude. It didn't matter if it was warm-ups. He was professional, prepared. All his teammates liked him. They responded to him well. So whether it was in the game, he didn't mind mixing it up, playing really hard, but always fair. And then off the court, he was equally as pleasant to be around and a great leader. So he was one of our captains as well. He came to us, as a homeschool kid and really bought into what we were doing. And I'm looking forward to him next year coming back and bringing that leadership on and off the court and helping us, take care of the point guard position and run the team. Last thing I'm going to say is I want all our guys up here to go find your parents or your uncles or aunts or sisters and brothers that came here to support you and make sure that you thank them, give them a hug. It is a lot of energy, effort by the administration, by your families. You need to be appreciative, and let's make sure that we're thankful for all this great support that we get. So thanks everybody for being here.